Yes, guys, welcome back to the end of the video on the YouTube channel, and it has finished Newcastle United 0, Arsenal 2, and that's to be one of the best away performances I have seen from Arsenal so far this season. Shame it probably won't mean a lot. It would theoretically take Man City to drop around 6 points for us to start believing that the title is genuinely back on. Don't get me wrong, the title race itself is still on. That's what I would say. However, it is still in Manchester City's hands. Even if they win from now until the end of the season, these sort of results just don't mean anything. Only means for second place, which is a shame. But don't get me wrong, I'm still pleased with the performance. I'm still pleased with the result. A clean sheet as well for the first time since Fulham, I believe. Away from home, we've managed to keep a clean sheet against one of the best Newcastle sides I have seen in a long time. They're a very well-run club by the Saudis. Apart from the last 14 years, they were under Mike Ashley. The last 2 years, you've got to applaud Newcastle. They've been absolutely fantastic this season. They are fighting for a Champions League spot, whereas Arsenal, at this moment in time, are just playing for pride and praying to the football gods that Man City drop points. I believe they've got Everton at the weekend, so we'll see what happens in that game. And then, of course, we've got the Champions League to focus on as well. Now, I've actually written down some notes. I know it's very unusual. Usually when I do these videos, I usually just make it up as I go along. But today I've decided to write some notes down. So we've got Jorginho. First point I want to make. Not going to lie, a lot of people, including me, thought he wasn't really the right player to take on that Newcastle midfield. I mean, you've got Joe Linton, Bruno Guimaraes and Joe Willock. And I was sitting there thinking, yeah, someone like Jorginho, the guy's going to end up getting brushed aside, isn't he? But there's this thing called positional intelligence. And Jorginho clutches that to perfection, in my opinion. He reads the game so well. And considering we paid only £10 million for him, he's not a bad midfielder. Every time he has stepped in, he has done a job. So, big up Jorginho. You've got to hand him his flowers when credit is due, really. The next point I want to make, Kivior. Second game in a row. I know he didn't keep a clean sheet against Chelsea, but that goal wasn't really down to him. But second game in a row against a hostile Newcastle atmosphere, he was brilliant. Apart from the penalty he gave away, which was chalked off correctly, by the way. I don't want to hear any of these Arsenal comments. I mean, if you want to comment Arsenal in my own mentions, then just piss off somewhere else. Because it clearly hit his thigh and then hit his hand. His hand was tucked in anyway, so yeah, say what you want on that. And I also wrote down he should be playing until Saliba comes back. Whether Saliba is out for the rest of the season, have his surgery and get him ready for next season. In fact, the first game next season, you know, have a break off, you know, when the season officially ends. It's been a bloody long season, I'll tell you that for a fact. It has been a very long season. So, I don't know, fly to Las Vegas, have a couple of cocktails, I don't know. But that sounded a bit weird. And then come back and hopefully you can start next season like you did, like you have done all of this season. Because honestly, having him back for the first game of next season is better than having him back within September, for example, or October. So for me, Kivior has to start from now until the end of the season, depending on whether Saliba actually does come back. Next point I want to make is the referee. Jesus Christ. I'm not going to lie. There were some questionable decisions that went in our favour due to time wasting, but didn't Newcastle do the same thing when we went to the Emirates? Yeah, sounded a bit familiar, didn't it, Newcastle fans? Because I know for a fact they are going to speak about the time wasting when they did the exact same thing when they came to our place. So, cry more. But yeah, apart from that, every single decision was going in Newcastle's favour. Except from the penalty, which of course that didn't go their way. But it was correctly ruled out anyway. And are we forgetting that the referee was the one who awarded the penalty in the first place? Yeah, everything was just going their way. Bruno Guimaraes, that guy went in with power. Studs up, right on Usaka's calf, nothing gets given. Fabian Schär, however you say his fucking name. Casual elbow straight into Jesus, nothing gets given. It took him until the 73rd minute to officially book a Newcastle player. Cool. By the way, this is the same referee that called out Arsenal for over-celebrating, which led us getting charged. I think it was the game against Fulham, if I'm not mistaken. And he's officiating an Arsenal game. Somebody work that one out. With half a brain, somebody explain that to me. I can't. It's just a joke. Chris Kavanagh, however you pronounce his name, shouldn't be reffing another Premier League game. I've seen referees in non-league better than these ones. They should be given the opportunity to ref these sort of Premier League matches because these ones are useless. Absolutely useless. Honest to God. I'll give him the penalty because it was hard to tell with 15 bodies in the way. But you know what I'm saying? The ref was atrocious. Absolutely atrocious. And the last thing I written down was Kieran Tierney has to stay. Now, credit to Arteta for this because he learnt from his mistake at Anfield. Zinchenko, of course, got done for that second Liverpool goal by Trent Alexander-Arnold shortly after he brought on Tierney in like the 88th minute. In this game, he knew that Newcastle were having a lot of joy down that left-hand side. As soon as Tierney came on, he sort of stuffed that out, and Newcastle couldn't get any joy down that left-hand side, so they had to ship it over to the left. So, yeah, for me, Kieran Tierney was absolutely fantastic when he came on, and I do hope he stays, and I think he has to start in our next game against Brighton. I know he can't play that inverted role the same way Zinchenko does, but I feel like against Brighton, another team who are fighting for Europe, don't forget that, I feel like they are going to have watched that game, thought, we can have some joy down that Zinchenko left side because at the moment he does look shaky defensively. Not going to lie, again, on the ball, he is absolutely fantastic. His technical ability, no one in the league can touch him. However, forget going to freaking Ukraine or, I don't know, meeting up with your City buddies, whatever. Learn how to defend next season. That is the number one priority. You have to improve defensively. And I think that was the only negative for today. I thought Zinchenko looked a little bit sloppy, a little bit shaky. Looks lost at times. But yeah, I think Tierney did a far better job when he came on in terms of defensive awareness. And yeah, my personal opinion, he has got to start against Brighton. So yeah, there we have it. Arsenal clutched the 3 points. Had to weather the storm in the opening 15 minutes. It certainly wasn't easy. Newcastle certainly had a couple of opportunities. Arsenal had some opportunities. From an from an Arsenal fan's perspective, I feel like a draw was a fair result, but it's all about clinicality, if that's a word. And Arsenal just happened to finish their chances and Newcastle didn't. Sorry, but that is football. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What you thought of the match. Let me know your man of the match as well. I will be live tomorrow for, I don't know, some extra details, some player ratings maybe. So make sure you get yourselves locked in for that. But in the meantime, thank you for watching. Please hit that subscribe button on my road to 1K and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.